everyone, it's Elise and welcome to my channel, Elise Between the Ears. If this is your first time here, welcome, and if you're a return visitor, welcome back. So today I'm going to do a tag. It is the fall tag and I was tagged by Melodie at Princess Melodie. Now you guys have to check Melodie out because she is one of the sweetest people I've gotten to know. She does tags like this. She does unboxings. I think she's going to be doing some swaps later on. And so you just need to check her out. She is just one of the sweetest people I know, and she's just lovely. I just think the world of her. So anyway, check her out. I will link her channel below so you can check out her tag and check out some of her other stuff. So let's get into this tag. Okay, so the first question is, what is my favorite Halloween movie? It's kind of a toss-up between Hocus Pocus and the Tower of Terror. Now, Hocus Pocus, as you know, is with the three Sanderson sisters, and they die, and then they come back 300 years later and cause havoc as they're trying to suck the life out of children so they can live forever. And then three kids and this cat Binks, they try and stop them. I'm sure a lot of you know what movie I'm talking about. I really love this movie because I have two other sisters, so there's three of us, and I really enjoy like the dynamics between the Sanderson sisters because we have a lot of the same dynamics in our family, and so I kind of relate to them. And even though they're witches and we're not, but just the sister dynamics I really enjoy, and I love the music as well as just the fun story itself. All the actresses are great, the kids are great in it, and it's just a really fun story. Now the other one that I can't decide which I like better is the Tower of Terror, and that is a more modern story. Well, I guess Hocus Pocus is a modern story too, but it takes place in Hollywood, where the Hollywood Towers, there's the mysterious disappearance of four guests in the elevator, and there's a reporter that is doing a story on it. I talked a lot about that movie as well as Hocus Pocus in my last video. I will link it up here that you can go back and look at it on my 5 favorite Halloween movies. But it takes place, I mean, it takes place in modern time, but the ghosts are actually from an earlier time in the I believe 20s, 30s. And I just really like the dynamics of the ghosts and the modern story about this reporter and his niece who's helping him. And there's like a twist at the end. So it's just a real fun story. And I love the ride Tower of Terror. So I just love how you kind of hear see the backstory of the hotel and what Tower of Terror is all about. The next question, question 2. Oh, by the way, there's 15 questions. So this is question 2. Apple or pumpkin pie? I have to say pumpkin pie. I do like apple pie, but I do have a harder time with like eating baked fruits. The texture, I guess, is just not appealing to me, while I like the pumpkin pie that it's more creamier and a little, you know, the texture is a lot different. It's funny because I live in Texas, and a lot of people, it's like either pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie. So that's a good question to ask, pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie. But I have to say, out of pumpkin and apple, I like pumpkin better. Number 3, Halloween party or explore a haunted house? Halloween party, definitely. I love the whole aesthetic of just everybody dressing up and having fun, and just, I love parties. I don't do a lot of them, but I love going to them. I just love the excitement and the celebration. Do not even get me near a haunted house. I used to like them when I was younger. My cousin and I used to go to haunted houses a lot. Well, maybe not a lot, but one or two every year. And I just am not a big haunted house fan. I like Haunted Mansion because it's not like people are jumping out. I just don't like people jumping out at you to scare you. If they just were like staying against the walls or something and you just have to look at it, I'm fine. But haunted houses where they jump out at you and their whole purpose is to scare you, I don't like. I don't like really being scared. So definitely the more cheerful celebration of a party is my cup of tea. Okay, number 4, store-bought or pumpkin patch pumpkins. I have to say pumpkin patch pumpkins. I love going out to farms or just lots, whatever, and going out and picking my own pumpkin. I don't know, there's just something about like just going out there into a big field with everybody and just looking around for that one perfect pumpkin. There was a place in California when we lived in California, and some of you might know it. It's called the Bates Nut Farm, and every fall they have a big pumpkin patch, and you could just go out and pick your pumpkin. And we had so much fun one year. We bought the biggest pumpkin we could find, and it took myself and my 2 sisters to get it out of the car and onto the porch. And it was so big we never carved it. It just sat there on our front porch till almost Christmas. We almost put a Santa Claus hat on it. But anyway, so I don't know, there's just something fun about going out into a field and picking that perfect pumpkin. Okay, number 5 is my favorite fall scent. Now, I'm not really sure. I don't have a really good sniffer. I have bad sinuses, and so I don't smell very well. But I think it's probably, even though I don't like apple pie, I love the smell of apple cinnamon, especially cinnamon. That is my favorite. And I do kind of like the gingerbread smell, but I kind of think of that more as like more of a Christmas smell than a fall smell. So that I think would be my favorite scent, would be more of the apple cinnamon. And even though I like pumpkin pie, I'm not a big fan of the pumpkin candles and whatever, but I do like the smell of baked pumpkin pie. So I guess pies in general, maybe. Okay, number 6 is my favorite fall drink. I'm not really sure. I don't really have a favorite fall drink. I know a lot of people have the lattes, the fall lattes and everything. I don't drink coffee or teas or anything, so I don't really have a favorite drink. Hot chocolate, maybe, with some vanilla, or I have tried it with like vanilla and cinnamon, which is really good. So I guess I would say that, hot chocolate with vanilla and cinnamon. Okay, number 7, Halloween or Thanksgiving. I have to say Halloween. I do like Thanksgiving because I really love to eat, but I love the whole aesthetic of Halloween and just the party and celebration of it. I love the dressing up and going to Halloween parties. I love dressing up at work on Halloween and being able to decorate my desk a little bit. That's really fun. It just, the whole like feel of Halloween, and it's just kind of this big party all month long as everybody gets ready for that one big night. Okay, number 8, most loved pumpkin-based food. Pumpkin-based food. like I said earlier, I love pumpkin pie and breads and whatever, but if you've ever had pumpkin soup, that is so good. I went to Australia in my early 20s for the mission for on a mission for my church, and Australia is really, or they eat pumpkin like a potato, and I tried pumpkin soup for my very first time there, and I have to say, you wouldn't think it was really, or it would be all that good, but it was so good. It didn't taste like pumpkin pie at all. It was more, you know, the squashy type flavors, but it just had this really smooth, um, creamy texture and flavor to it that, I mean, I can't even really describe it, but I loved it. It was, and I've never been able to have it um, since. I've never had pumpkin soup since. Maybe I should find a recipe and make it. That might be good. Number 9 is corn maze or haunted hayride. Personally, I think they would both be really, really fun, but I have to go lean more towards haunted hayride because I don't know, the idea of going into a maze, and I always have this kind of fear of getting lost in a maze and not being able to get out. And cornfields, you know, they're really high, so I'm always afraid that nobody would be able to find me. So I know it's kind of an irrational fear, but that is kind of one of my phobias, is getting lost in a maze. So a haunted hayride would be better. And hayrides are fun. And just putting that haunted element to it would just even make it more fun. Number 10, favorite candy to eat on Halloween. That's pretty much anything except for licorice, black licorice. I don't like black licorice, but Snickers, I think, is my favorite candy given at Halloween. Just the little squares, you know, I could eat a whole bag of those. Um, but pretty much, I like any chocolates, but I think out of all the chocolates, that is my favorite one that they give out for Halloween, are the little squares of Snicker bites. It just has the perfect ratio of chocolate and nuts, caramel, the nougat. So I could just, like I said, eat a whole bag of those. Number 11, favorite childhood fall memory. Oh, let's see. Um, I guess just kind of growing up and being part of a pretty good sized family and having all of us kids going trick-or-treating together. I mean, I remember when I think there was all 5 of us kids. My oldest brother, who was 7 years older than me, my next brother, who's just a year and a half older than me, and then my 2 younger sisters who are 3 years under me and then 6 years under me. So there was a big, wide span of us, and we would go trick-or-treating. And I think the last year that my oldest brother went, my youngest sister was probably 1, and my mom had dressed her up as a baby doll, and no, maybe she was 2, because she could walk. And so we just kind of walked around the neighborhood a little bit. But we always had so much fun on Halloween, and my mom was always great at making us either sewing our costumes or just coming up with these homemade costumes from getting stuff at the thrift stores or whatever. That's, I think, where I got my love from, my love for dressing up, is because my mom just spent so much time making these great costumes for us. Okay, number 12 is my favorite Thanksgiving food. Um, I want to say turkey, but sometimes the turkey can get a little dry. So Ah. Okay, so I think my favorite is the mashed potatoes and gravy. The gravy we make from uh, the chicken drippings, or sorry, the turkey drippings, and then we usually make real potatoes for uh, for Thanksgiving. A lot of times we use instant potatoes, but for Thanksgiving we always make the real thing. And so you still have that turkey flavor, but you don't really have the heaviness of the turkey. So I think that is probably going to be my favorite Thanksgiving uh, food is the mashed potatoes and gravy. Number 13 is sweater or scarf. I'm definitely a sweaters person. Scarves are okay, but they tend to choke, and I rather just put a sweater on, kind of, wrap it close. And I've got lots of scarves from family and friends, but yeah, I'm a sweaters girl. Give me a big old bulky sweater and I'm happy. Number 14 is wool socks or slippers. Well, I don't really like wool socks. Wool I break out when I wear wool, but I like socks. I'm definitely a socks person over slippers. I don't know what it is. It's like this, the slippers, I wear shoes all day, but I'd rather run around the house just wearing big, comfy, warm socks, and then just cuddle up with a big blanket and my big sweater, and I'm happy. Number 15, the last question, is what is your favorite fall tradition? My favorite fall tradition is after Thanksgiving dinner. My sisters and I, it used to be my mom, but now she's, getting too old to go out with us. But my sisters and I, we go out and do the Black Friday. And it used to be that you'd get up really early in the morning and then you'd wait in line and then the doors would open really early. Now they just start, early or in the early evening of Thanksgiving Day. It just isn't the same. I'm sorry, it's just not as fun as like getting up at like 4 or 5 in the morning to get to a store and wait in line, and we drink hot chocolate and wait with everybody, and you get to kind of know the people around you as you're all waiting in that anticipation of the doors opening. It was just so much fun, even though it was cold and we'd have to be all bundled up, but we'd have our hot chocolate, and it was just a nice time to kind of have this family kind of togetherness. And I know once the doors open, everybody went so crazy and everything in some places, but that anticipation was just so much fun. And now that they open the doors just, shortly after you eat, and you just kind of go in, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we're having a special. It's just not the same as it was, 5, 10 years ago. So, but that is my favorite Thanksgiving tradition, or I should say fall tradition, is that after Thanksgiving Black Friday. So anyway, okay, so that's it. That's the whole tag. Thank you, Melody from Princess Melodie, for tagging me. I have to apologize. I don't know who was the original creator for this video or for this tag. If I can figure it out, I will put it right down here. So anyway, thank you again. Now I am going to tag a few people. I hope they haven't already done it. If you have already done it, just pass it along to someone else. And if you feel like you would like to do this tag, go ahead, answer these questions. They're a lot of fun. I will post the questions below in the show notes, and also the links to Melody and also to the people I'm going to tag. And now I would like to tag a few people. First off, I would like to tag Janine from Janine Disney DIY, and then Nicole and her two great kids from Irresistible Magic, NZcole, and then let's see, I would like to invite Cargo 619 to this tag, to do this tag. And finally, Valerie from the Singer Family Adventures to also do this tag. I can't wait to see your guys' videos and see what answers you have. I will link everybody's information below, so you could go check it out as well as Melodie's channel, so you can see what hers was. And if you came over here from Princess Melodie's channel, thank you for stopping by, and I hope y'all have had a great time listening to these questions and the answers. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe below if you haven't already, and push that bell icon so the next time my videos come up, you will see it. And until next time, I hope you have a great day, a great week, and I will see you later. Bye!